Good morning, Hillman Cancer Center. Happy Wednesday to you. We are this blah, 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 da, 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 la, la, la. One of those days. Welcome to Cooking for Cancer and Chronic Disease. This is brought to you by the Wellness and Integrative Oncology Program. We are located on the third floor of Hillman Cancer Center. So yes, this teaching kitchen sits right in a patient area. Our program is under the supervision of Dr. Lainey Francis, who is a medical oncologist, hematologist. We focus on symptom management, on quality of life using integrative therapies. This whole series is about choosing food and integrating nutrition to help you prepare and cook to better serve your needs. So I'm Danielle Petrina. I'm the project manager for the Wellness and Integrative Oncology Program. This is Angela Zaccanini. We have the longest names ever.
We do.
She is our registered dietitian and she focuses on lifestyle nutrition. So we're so happy to be with you today. We are loving our new production setup. So we hope you do too as well. So let us know if you don't. And we are making some, I tasted it in fairness. It's lovely. Make sure you make this recipe. Yeah. I came in strong like, Ange, I need breakfast. So we're making banana muffins. Kick us off, Ange.
Okay. Yeah, so this recipe is from A Couple Cooks. It's a blog online. I have used multiple recipes from their blog, and I really tend to enjoy them. This is considered a healthy banana muffin. It is made with oatmeal. There's no flour in it. So what you see here is pretty much all that's in it. I'm not a baker.
No.
So measuring these ingredients is important because, you know, you want the muffins to rise a certain way. You don't want them to be dense or flat. And you want the middle to be a little bit moist also. So I did see here that somebody made this recipe with applesauce instead of the vegetable oil.
Okay.
And I guess it was very moist, but it was a lot denser and flatter.
Yeah.
So the consistency was a little bit different. But again, that's what happens when you bake. You test ingredients and see what works or not. So this ingredient, if you are a part of the email distribution list, you did receive this already. So recipe is pretty simple. However, there is quite a few ingredients because it is similar to baking. You know, you need to use baking soda, baking powder. You're going to be using some cinnamon, vanilla extract. We are using vegetable oil, not olive oil. It does call for sunflower, vegetable, or grapeseed oil. We're going to use some maple syrup and a little bit of salt, and then of course our oats and 2 eggs. So you do want to start preheating your oven to 350 degrees. We have our Vitamix here. It does call for a blender. You certainly do not need a Vitamix.
Yeah, we're not big fans. So they are not going to allow us to promote them.
No. No, we're not going to get a kickback from Vitamix.
We have gotten into some fights with this Vitamix, and she brought it out this morning. I'm like, oh man,
I know.
Can we just do anything else besides this Vitamix? So
I know.
Don't be intimidated by it. You don't need it.
No.
Continue.
Definitely not.
Sorry.
So it's funny because we tend to use our food processor for a lot of things rather than the blender. However, because this has a ton of ingredients, we obviously need the larger portion. And it's nice because it does have this pour spout so that you can just pour it right into your muffin tin. So while you are preheating your oven to 350 degrees, you do want to line a muffin tin with muffin cups. And the recipe calls for about 9 to 10 muffins depending on the consistency or I guess the volume of your mixture. So depending on how big the bananas are, how much oatmeal you have, you know, whatever, it can vary. So we just lined 12 and we're going to start adding our ingredients to the blender. So first ingredient, do you want to start peeling these for me and breaking them up?
Yes.
So the recipe calls for 3 very ripe bananas. These are like...
Those are like ultra.
They're like really extra large too. And the recipe calls for very large bananas.
Okay.
So these work.
Check box.
And very ripe. So I always thought like, oh, you know, just put them in the fridge to brown them. You know what I mean? However, I read online that to make your bananas more ripe, if they're not, you add them to a brown bag. And keep them on the counter.
Okay.
So no light, peel or like fold the bag over, and your banana should become pretty ripe within a day or 2. Thank you.
That's great info.
Okay.
Because I feel like I always like get green, and then you're like, oh, it's like an avocado. You know, it's never ready when you need it.
I actually love them like that.
Very ripe?
Yeah, no.
Oh, very green.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Interesting.
what's interesting about the banana too is when it is green like that, it actually contains more fiber.
Oh.
And that the more brown it gets, the more sugar it contains.
She's just not a pretty face, ladies and gents. She is smart.
I got a brain in there too.
She got a brain in there.
Okay, so bananas are added. Now we're going to add our 2 eggs. You see these cute little bowls?
We are so fish. Ange is like, D, that's what we go by around here. She's like, I'm fumbling too much with the seasonings, the ingredients. Like, we need to get this. So we did, and it's very pretty and laid out so that she can continue to talk to you and give you good advice about all these wonderful recipes.
Exactly. So I have a hard time measuring the ingredients, reading the recipe, and giving facts. So I don't think I could have told you about the banana if I was measuring stuff.
So lazy.
Okay, so we did add the 2 cups of oats. I added the 2 eggs. We're going to use a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Oh, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a far reach.
And I'm using my left hand for whatever reason.
Did we run out of bowls? Is that why you did this?
No, because I actually wanted to measure these out.
Okay. Thank you, Norma, for letting us know. We got feedback from Ange's mom. It said,
shout out Norma.
Shout out to Norma. She's like, you need to level it off, you know?
Yeah.
She's the real deal.
Yep. So that's why,
Ange is her protege.
Right. And I didn't want to have to measure in front of you anymore, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the maple syrup we added, the oil we added. Now it's the vanilla extract, which is 1 tablespoon.
Nice.
1 teaspoon of baking soda. Don't know if this is the baking soda or powder. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Awesome.
So those are your dry ingredients there, and I guess there's some wet too. Okay, and the optional ingredient is a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. We don't have allspice and really don't know when we're going to use it again, so we decided to opt out for that.
You're out, allspice.
Yep. Going to add a little bit of salt. It is 1/4 teaspoon. So
we also enjoy salt around here. So blend us up, Ange. You will see how nice this does. Watch. This is going to be fun.
I know. Please, come on.
We've had this, again, this is a show about what not to do in your kitchen.
Right.
So.
Oh gosh. I'm like, did I do this right?
You're making me nervous.
As you should be. Yeah. I am.
All right.
I just want to make sure it doesn't go flying in the air.
What not to do in your kitchen.
Right. Okay. We're starting low and slow.
Now, if this were me, it'd be like, high power, let's roll, blend it up
this
fast.
thing does have a lot of power. However, you need a lot of liquid to get there because what I like about this, though, is that you can open this up, add this little thing.
That's so nice, yeah.
Instead of having to open the whole thing and grab like a spoon.
A piece to a vacuum cleaner.
It does. It does.
Because I saw her bringing out we haven't used that.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why we're disasters, because we never use
that.
That's
true.
You know?
That's true. I'm learning as I go. You know.
I think we all are.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, so, and then you could just keep this little guy in there.
Nice. It doesn't. The blender
doesn't hit it. The blade is very low, and what I also don't like about this is the blade does not come out.
Yeah, so it's hard to
clean
clean.
It is so frustrating.
You have to do dishwasher. You know, there's nothing else that you could do.
You do want it to get to the point where it is smooth.
Yeah,
so
there's some oatmeal in there. You can see the flakes.
Yep, exactly. So we want it to get to that consistency where that it's easy to pour. How are we looking on here? Check the temp for me.
We're there. Oh, you have to hit it.
Oh, 358. Wait. Wow.
Can it go higher than what you set it at? It's at 358.
Because I haven't opened it. How are we looking?
Good. I think you're good. Okay. Nice. you want me to pour?
That was pretty smooth.
Yeah, I know.
For
like
my
I actually kind of like tuned out because there wasn't a disaster. I'm like, oh wait, we're back at the cooking show.
Okay.
Do you want me to pour, or you talk
pour.
about facts and what's lovely about this whole thing?
Perfect. Okay. There you go.
This is gonna also be a disaster. Where am I feeling to? Like 3/4?
So do 3/4, and then if we have more, you could fill it up because it does say to fill. Let me just see what the recipe says. Doesn't say anything. It says pour evenly, so whatever that means. And then you are going to want to sprinkle the top with a little bit of the extra oats. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of oats, but of course leave a little bit more for that topping.
It's nice. It adds a good crunch.
Yes. And we ended up adding some chocolate chips.
Yeah, we did.
To ours earlier, so you could sweeten it up that way. But let's talk about the nutrition facts. So these are considered healthy banana muffins. So I'm curious what an actual banana muffin contains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We should have done a comparison.
Somebody Google and leave it in the chat.
Yeah. So one of these muffins is 204 calories. I'm actually going to look one up.
Okay.
If I can.
Which really isn't bad. So one thing I did, can I talk about what I did?
Sure.
Okay. So I actually paired it with a cup of yogurt. There's a brand out there that does 2 grams of sugar, 80 calorie yogurt cups, which is pretty good because yogurt, you can get into some and it's a Greek yogurt, you can get into some high sugar, and Ange approved it. I had her look at the label. So it was really nice to eat those, eat a muffin with yogurt. It's also, if you're having any taste buds, right? Or, sores in your mouth.
Yeah, super
really
soft mouthful.
Yeah.
And I think, this is a great breakfast recipe, but it could be used as dessert, I would think.
You could put ice cream with this. And add a little more chocolate, some almonds.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, here we go. And 600 calories later.
Yeah. No, but I was thinking, too, that I would like to eat this with, a tablespoon or 2 of peanut butter, just to get a little bit more protein. So the protein in this, we mentioned that it is 204 calories for one of these muffins, and then it's also 4 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber. So you're getting a lot of fiber actually for one of these muffins, because we consider 2 grams or more of fiber a high fiber food. It does contain 30 grams of carbohydrates. So that would be considered 2 carb choices if you're watching your carbohydrates, if you have diabetes and you are, counting your carbohydrates, that would be considered 2 because 1 is 15 grams. I don't want to get too much into that. That just made my head spin a little bit. So I feel like they are pretty nutrient dense. And 204 calories for a muffin is pretty decent because I did look it up.
Okay.
One of a regular banana muffin is 426 calories.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're getting,
you could almost have 2.
Less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And probably a lot more sugar.
Yeah, probably. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to add this batch to our oven at 350 degrees, and you are going to want to let these bake for about 30 minutes. Want to show the final product?
Yeah, so we already cooked these ahead of time, so don't worry, you're not going to be online for another 30 minutes. So let me throw these up here for you, and then let me run back over and show you what this final product looks like.
Close up and
Look at
personal. That. You need to move it over.
Whoop. That's why she's here. She's keeping her job. All right, look at that. So beautiful. I mean, these are lovely, delicious. They are perfect. Ange cooked them rated 30. Don't do any more, any less. They're lovely though. But you can see they're not like that huge fluff muffin on top, like the muffin top. There you go. So I'm going to cut us back over to you, Ange.
Yep, and I'm going to take a bite.
All right, take a bite. I know, see? We're going to start eating on the stream.
The real Julia Childs.
Will you just watch the show already? Bon appetit.
They do taste good.
Yeah.
And they're pretty moist.
Yeah. They're like dense, but not overly dense.
Yeah. They're not burnt, because I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Not sweet enough for me.
Okay, you could put more cinnamon though, right?
I also think the bananas could be more ripe.
Oh.
Because the more ripe they are, the sweeter they can
get.
be.
I mean, also, I might not have noticed because I put it with yogurt.
And she got the one with chocolate chips.
Oh, that's right. I know. We were like, who knows? Where are they at? We don't know.
Lucky duck. I didn't.
I know. I mean, bite another one. See what you get.
No, it's okay. We got to feed the whole
team around here. Yeah,
the whole team.
They're waiting outside the door, salivating. And we got this very easy ingredients to have. Again, like Ann said, you can like do some exchanging out if you have applesauce and you want to do that. If you want to add some nuts to this recipe as well, you could certainly do that. You could sweeten it up with some dark chocolate little mini kisses.
Yep.
So there's a lot that you can do with this. I mean, definitely follow the measurements, like we say about baking. I thought you were grabbing another one. I was like, ooh, go. So Ange, talk to them a little bit about our email distribution list. I'm going to throw up your email.
Yes. So every week, either Monday or Tuesday, I send out the link to our YouTube channel along with the recipe that we're making that week, so you can either follow along or just have it as a reference. Please join that list by emailing me. My email address is below. Just say you would like to be a part of that email list, and I will add you to our distribution. And next week,
we're cooking, it's ice cream something.
Strawberry nice cream.
Oh, nice cream. Yeah, we're talking about this.
So it's fake.
It's fake.
It's not ice cream.
It's not ice cream, but
it's a sweet, cold dessert, perfect for these warmer days. And
I've done this before. Like, think of like a really good, think of a smoothie that's like in the consistency of ice cream.
Yeah.
So.
I almost think of it too as like an Italian ice.
Oh, yeah.
So something like that, which we'll talk all about when it comes to our oncology population and how that would be a good option. Also a healthy dessert.
Right.
All right. So I think that's all we have for
you. That's all we have for you today. Enjoy. Happy Memorial Day weekend.
That's right. A long weekend.
That really came up fast. We're moving into my birth month and Angela's birth-ish month. We're close, so don't worry.
Cancer season's coming up.
Cancer season's coming up.
That's all you got to know. Beware.
Things are going to get crazy around here. I got to pick the recipe for my birthday.
That's right.
So join us. Please use that email address. Please subscribe as well. We would love to have you join us. Leave some messages in the chat for us if you have any feedback. We'd love to hear back from you. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your week.